I'm going to show you how to use our model editor tool, which allows you to make changes and manage your 3D models directly from the Echo 3D console. Over here, you can edit colors, textures, and make variations of the same model. There are two ways that you can access the model editor. The first is by clicking on the content card and it'll pop up in this window. Or if you wanted to go over here to the left pane, you just go over here and all of the assets that are in your project are going to be at the bottom. So if you don't see it, just scroll over and you'll be able to access the model in the same way. So for the sake of this demo, we're going to use the leather couch and we're going to add some variations and go through what the model editor offers. As you can see, the default window shows you imports and exports. The exports give you three options. You can export to console, which will create a brand new model based on your changes. And you can apply to entry, which actually applies the changes directly to this asset. So the entry ID and the project ID are going to remain the same, which is a fantastic feature. So instead of having several different models, you can quickly add variations and go through and use those instead. And independently, you can just download this model and it'll download directly to your browser. So you can use it for whatever you want. Over here, if we go to edit, we can work on the lighting. So if we wanted to modify the exposure, we could do that. Work on the shadow intensity or the softness, depending on whatever look you're going for. If the model has any animations, you'll see them over here, but they don't. Over here, we have hotspots, which are basically notes or annotations. So all you have to do is click on that, choose where you would like the annotation to be, and add it. And next we're going to go over here to the materials where we can create a variant. So what this does is it basically creates a different version of the same model based on the changes that you have here. And like I mentioned earlier, it won't change the entry ID or the API key. So that means that you can have different versions of the same model and you can update them directly through your browser and all of the changes apply directly. So it's basically like having several models in one. So we're going to create a couple of variants and I'll show you how these work. Okay, so let's load them and make our changes. So we labeled this one black couch, which means, yes, we're going to turn it into a black couch. So we're going to go down to where it says factor and turn this leather couch into this beautiful shade of black. Then we're going to go back over here to the first panel and we're going to apply to entry. But first, I want you to take note, this is a leather couch in the background. So once we apply to entry, it's going to give us a pop-up and it's important that you wait until it makes a change. And there you go, it automatically updates and now you have this beautiful black leather couch. So let's do the same with the red leather couch. Once we change it, it goes back to the default so we can get a fresh perspective on what we're working with. And now we are picking the reddest red and we're going to go back over here and apply to entry again. And as you can see, it automatically updates and now you have another variant and all of your variants are stored in the dropdown so you can oscillate between all of the ones that you've created. After you've created your different variants, you can actually view them by typing in the share link in your browser for either desktop or mobile. And once you enter it, on the top left, you'll see the option to view the different variants that you just created. So there's the red couch and here we see the black couch. And just to give you an idea, this is what it looks like on your mobile device when you're viewing the same QR code or typing in the link. So right here on the top left, you'll see the same dropdown. And alternatively, if you wanted to export to console and create a separate model, you could do that by clicking export to console. And right here in the background, you can see now we have another object. And if we wanted to download the model, it just downloaded as a zip. And lastly, over here, we have a JSON format of the same 3D model. So if you needed that, it's available to you right over here.